Hey, what is it, Tuesday? Yeah, happy Tuesday. Thanks for popping in. This is Roan coming back at you with the second video vlog on this YouTube channel. Still have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, but here I am doing it, making it work. Thanks for hopping in. Today, I wanted to take a quick moment, make a short video, and just talk about what does my week to week look like? What does my day to day look like here in the Red River Gorge while I'm in this incredible time where I'm not working by choice? I have savings, I have an abundance of climbing partners, and I can really just climb full time until the winter hits. So this is a day in the week of Roan in the Red River Gorge. I'll talk you through an overview of what my week looks like, which you can see here on the screen, and we'll walk through each day. And then finally, I'll take some time and talk a little bit about the nutrition that I do to give you a little bit of perspective about who I am, what I do, how I climb. When I moved here to the Red about 5 months ago, I had sent two 510As. That was it. Now that I've been here for about 5 months with a lot of travel for work, which I'm no longer doing, travel wrapped up last week. I'm really climbing consistently now, starting last week, going into this week. I'm feeling better, I'm feeling fitter, and I've done, I think, 47 510s that I've sent clean now. I have a goal of getting 60 within the next couple of weeks. So that's starting to feel good. And I'm pushing into those 511s. I've gotten on a couple and they're feeling pretty solid. I just need to step into the project role. Um, so now that you have a little bit of scope and background about who I am and kind of where I'm at, let's jump into what I do on a week to week. So here I've got a day in the week of Roan in the Red River Gorge, and I've got the 5 days of the week, which would typically be work. I'm still kind of treating this like work, but it's a little bit different. It's working for me for athletic performance. So the first thing I'll point out is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you can see are marked for climb outside, and I'll get into that soon enough. And then Tuesday, Thursday are active recovery. So what does that actually look like? What does that actually mean? What's the day to day look like? So let's start with Monday. On my climb outside days, I kind of like to think of it as a job. So I clock in when the sun comes up around, I don't know, 8:30 like a normal job, but unlike a normal job, I clock out when the sun is down and I can't see anymore. So I'm usually wrapping up my final route in the dark or in the nearing dark, unless my climbing partner has to go earlier. So I'll typically wake up, um, get my shit prepared. Usually I do it the night before, excuse me. Get my shit prepared, and then drive to wherever we've agreed upon, and we get started. On those climbing days, there are a couple specific things that I really like to focus on to make it a success. So the first is warming up properly. I like to tell all of my climbing partners that I'm an old man. I'm 24 years old. I know I'm not an old man, but it's kind of a funny excuse for me to warm up. What I've noticed is that if I don't warm up and I start trying something hard, I feel terrible and I typically set myself up for injury. But since I've started doing proper warm up about a year ago, I can properly try hard and it feels good. So for me, that usually looks like 5 or so minutes of cardio. When I was in the gym, I would just do jump rope. But when I'm outside, just getting to the crag sometimes, most times is enough. And I'll check that off. This is from the Crimped app. So if you have the Crimped app, you'll um, know exactly what I'm talking about. And then I'll do what the hell is it? Like I like lever myself over and touch the ground and swing one foot out on each side. I'll do arm rotations forwards, backwards. I'll do side lunges to activate my hips and my groin, my core, and then I'll do some other stuff. I'll do a full dynamic warm up. Notice I said dynamic. Once that's done, pull this closer here. Once that's done, I'll typically hop on easier routes. So for me and where I'm at right now, that's 5'9", 5'8", 5'9" feels pretty easy. Now that I'm getting stronger, if I can hop on like a 10A. What I'm looking for is to get some level of pump, mostly movement, but some level of pump because I'm here in the Red River Gorge. So I do the 5.9, and now often I have to do like a 10A or a 10B, and the goal is to get to a like 5 or 6 out of 10 level of pump so that I'm priming my body, getting prepared. I don't want to get to an 8, 9, 10 out of 10 level of pump. Then I get flash pumped and I'm kind of fucked for the rest of the day. But if I can get like a 5 or 6 lower back down, I start to feel good. I start to get in the zone. And if I wasn't feeling very good at the start of the session, now I'm starting to feel ready to climb, ready to try hard. And there's also like a mental aspect on the climbing days. Some days I feel just terrible, to be honest. A lot of days I feel scared because that's, just a challenge that I work through. And warming up, trying a couple of hard moves feels good. Once I've done the dynamic warm up, once I've done the easy climb, then I just jump straight into whatever the heck I'm going to do. So recently I've been just trying to get as many 5.10s as I can. 4 to 6 per session is pretty good, especially when I have more than one person, or if we have, conflicting priorities. But I can put them down pretty fast. So that's been a thing. Um, just like flashing and on-sighting easy tens, or maybe a C or a D if I'm going for something hard. There's no other choice. Or recently, I've been, you know, going for 11s. So the rule I have for myself right now is I'm either shooting to get 4, 5, 10 sends that I've never done before, or project an 11 in a session. And that's been working really good because I'm working towards this goal of sending 65 tens, or I'm working towards projecting getting stronger. So those are my climbing days. A couple tips that I would put out here is eating and drinking. It's so simple, but people don't freaking do it. I honestly forget. So I'll show up to the crag, I'll warm up. Hey, it's just a warm up, and I don't drink enough water. And then I don't drink enough water throughout the whole day. That kind of sets me up for failure. I start to feel tired and lethargic, and I'll take a nap. Um, Especially when it's cold, you don't want to drink water, but drink water. Bring more than you think you'll need. And then number two is eating. So when I first started climbing, I was lucky enough to assist in a clinic with Jonathan Hurst. He's like a little younger than me, a lot taller than me, built like a football player because he was a football player, climbs like 514D or something crazy. And he spent a lot of time talking about nutrition because he is a nutrition major in college. And he kind of had this graph where it was like, I'm going to eat a couple bites of a snack after my climb because if you think of your sugar levels as a straight line, right? It's straight, 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 and then you climb and it drops. And then afterwards, you eat a snack and it comes back up and then kind of levels out. And then it's straight, straight, straight again until you do your next climb. Or you can time your snacks so that you eat a little bit after you climb, or maybe you have like a couple Skittles or something right before you climb, and you have some extra energy as you climb so you can prepare for that crash. But yeah, snacks after the climb, I don't mean like a whole Cliff Bar. I'll eat like a couple bites of a Cliff Bar, maybe a couple bites of a banana or some fruit. I also carry a packet of crackers at all times because I get low on sodium. So I'll drink a lot of water and I'll have to pee all the freaking time. And my climbing partners will think there's something wrong with me. But really, I'm drinking a lot of water. I don't have enough sodium. And if I'm trying something hard, I get a little bit anxious. And then I have to pee like 3 times before I try something. So, yeah, pro tips there: snack, drink water. ABCs, always be snacking and drinking. That'll get you through the climbing day. It'll also get you through backpacking and high elevation. Quick tip. So yeah, those are the climbing days. Take, depending on what you're working on, if you're projecting, take plenty of rest between project attempts. If you're trying to get volume, don't just get a bunch of volume. So that's Monday, Wednesday, Friday. That's my whole day. By the time I get home on those days, I'm not gonna do anything else. I used to think I would get home and be productive. Absolutely not. I get home and all I want to do is eat and go to sleep. So I'll make dinner. I'll get home, have some protein powder with milk. It's the advantage. I'm not sponsored, but it's really good. I recommend it. And then do my dishes, prep for the next day, make dinner, and then that's kind of where I sit down, relax. I'm an anime nerd, so I usually watch some anime, and I start falling asleep on the couch, and that's when it's time to go to sleep. I'll shower in the morning. So those are my climbing days. Let me know if you have any other tips or tricks or advice for those climbing days. It's a little bit different than weekend warrior climbing days because I live here. I don't feel like I have to get as many pitches as I can or I have to send my project right now because I know I can come back to it the next day. I know I have plenty of time to rest and recover. And so I use that because I put myself here for a reason. So now let's talk about the active recovery days. Everyone's got something a little bit different. What I'm finding works for me are Tuesday is run in the morning, jog, a mile or two or three or whatever. Just get my blood pumping, Sometimes I'll choose a jog that's not as easy. I live in a neighborhood where there are dogs that will chase me around, so I typically drive to climbing spots. Like I'll drive to PMRP, Miller Fork, and just run the trails. And that's a butt kicker. So do that in the morning, and then spend the rest of Tuesday doing what I need, usually writing my blog or, making this video or admin tasks, emails, budgeting, blah, 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 all the exciting adult things. And then in the evening, like this evening, I'll do another active thing. So maybe I'll play pickleball with my friends, stretch, core, fingerboard a little bit, get some blood flow into my fingers so that my tendons can heal. And the big point is not to blow myself out on Tuesday so that when Wednesday rolls around, I'm feeling good and ready to climb. And then there's Thursday. So I'm nearing the end of the week. By Thursday, I'm typically feeling very tired. Um, and that's fine. So I'll have climbed the day before. I wake up, I'm pretty sore. This is my active recovery day. So far, I've really just done one workout on Thursdays. I used to do the Murphy Challenge every week. I still pretty much do that, but I've replaced pull ups with crunches because I figure, hey, I do a lot of climbing and pulling 3 days a week. I'm strong. Um, I want to do something antagonist. So I'll typically drive to a crag or I'll have a crag in mind that I want to work out at. Um, Last week it was Shady Grove and PMRP, absolutely beautiful. I'll run to wherever that spot is, which gets my blood pumping. I'll do like 200 push ups, 300 squats, 150 crunches, and that can change depending on the day. And then run back home. I'm usually very tired, and then I spend the rest of the day doing admin things. Um, Maybe I'll stretch at the end of the day because I'm really sore. I'm sure to eat the same on climbing days and non climbing days. I eat a lot of healthy food, a lot, probably more than you would think. And that sets me up for success on Friday. So when Friday rolls around, I'm freaking tired, but I'm showing up. I've prepped the night before. I've got all my materials. I've got my lunch packed. And I ate a lot of food the night before as well. A lot of healthy food. So even though I am tired, I'm coming in prepared and ready to go. And after I do my warm up on a climbing day, I get after it. Now you may be thinking, okay, Monday through Friday makes sense. This makes a lot of sense to me. 3 days of climbing, 2 days of active recovery. What about the weekends? That's a very good question. Um, Fluid, I would say. So the reason is people typically come visit on the weekends. A lot of weekend warriors and a lot of friends from Cincinnati or other locations, and they'll often hit me up and want to climb. But for me, those are my like full rest days where I do whatever the hell I want. It's probably going to change now that I'm not traveling, but it was typically I'd be traveling or on a plane or driving for however long. So I think of those as my recovery days, or maybe I'll have one day of hard climbing in there. I need at least one day to be not climbing at all. Not climbing, not exercising. Like I need a full rest day. I'm doing nothing. Maybe I'll take a walk. Usually that's Sunday, sometimes it's Saturday. And then the other day, I'll do something active. Maybe that's volunteering for the coalition and cleaning up trails. Maybe that's 4 hours of pickleball, whatever the heck. Um, Sometimes it's hard climbing. Like I know I'm going to do some hard climbing this Sunday. But regardless, at least one full rest day is really important. Otherwise, I get really, really tired. So yeah, that's the Monday through Friday routine. That's what I'm sticking to right now. What I think will be cool to will be to look back on this in a month, 2 months, 3 months, a year, 2 years. Just like, did this work? How did it work? What went well? What went wrong? What did I not think about? I think a big thing here is protecting my time and protecting my calendar, honestly, because there's so much opportunity and there's so many friendly people. I have to stay focused on what's important. I'm like, I need to make time to network and create relationships. I also need to make time to focus on what I need to focus on. So that wraps up a day in the week of me here in the Red River Gorge. The last thing that I'll talk about is nutrition. I won't spend a ton of time on this, but I'll kind of give you the lowdown on what I do. So let's talk about food. Um, this is my daily food schedule. Everyone's different, so it'll probably be different for you than it is for me, but here's what I do. So I wake up in the morning. As soon as I get out of bed, to the kitchen, boom, take the smoothie I prepared out of the fridge, pour some milk in, set that thing on. It makes a ruckus and it hurts my head because it's so early in the morning. And also start the kettle so that I can do coffee because I worked in the corporate world, so I need coffee. Um, I will have packed my snacks for whatever the heck I'm doing that day. Usually I'm getting out of the house, at least for a while. So my snacks are typically like fresh fruit, often bananas or apples or something. Energy bars, crackers are huge. I freaking love Ritz crackers. The sodium, much needed. Whatever. I've usually got a bag, an assortment of goods, and a packed lunch if I'm climbing. Then for lunch, I'll have whatever I meal prepped. I typically meal prep every Saturday or Sunday, depending on what the week looks like. So I'll have that packed, ready to go. Um, Snacks again between lunch and dinner. So ABCs, always be snacking and drinking, fruit, energy bars, and I'm a sucker for something sweet, so maybe a dessert. And then dinner is meal prep number two. So lunch is typically like a little more lightweight. It's got, the full thing. It's got grains and vegetables and protein, which are like my staples, but it's lightweight, less food. And then dinners where I go freaking hard and I gorge myself and I eat so much that I feel like I can't eat anymore. But it's all healthy food, a lot of meat, a lot of vegetables, some rice or quinoa, and by the end of the day, I'm freaking poops. So I finish up dinner, and then I'll do whatever I gotta do, prep for the next day, maybe take a shower, and then it's lights out for me. So that wraps up my post for today. Thank you for watching. We walked through my days, what my days look like here regarding athletic performance, and we took a little quick dive into what I eat every day. Hopefully, this was helpful or maybe entertaining. Um, yeah, thanks for your time. And if you have any recommendations, let me know. Leave it in the comments. See ya.